Well, we now go above and beyond the headlines with Philip Juico, President of the Philippine Athletics Track and Field Association. He joins us live here in the studio. Good evening, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Good evening, good evening.
Well, what are your first thoughts, sir, when you heard all these reports coming from the teams themselves from the different countries?
Well, as mentioned by Senator Bongo, there's going to be hell after
There will be hell to pay.
after the SEA Games.
After the SEA Games.
I'm sure there's going to be an audit of this, a financial audit and a management audit.
Management audit.
So I'm just echoing the sentiments of Senator himself and the people in the street and my colleagues that I talk to. But I think now is the time I think we should already move forward. Set that aside. Even the Cambodian team or the Myanmar team said, okay, let's put that aside, let's focus on the games.
Yeah, focus on the games, give support to the athletes.
Yes.
They're the most important people, I suppose, at this point. And the athletes, it's for them anyway.
For them.
And athletes, not just the Filipino athletes, but the athletes from representing the other countries, right?
Yes.
But you said, sir, okay, so a financial audit and a management audit. Financial audit because now there are allegations of quote-unquote corruption.
Well, you listen to the tweets or you read the tweets and the IGs and the posts, why this, why that, priorities and all of that. That is part and parcel of any event of this magnitude. You really have to go through some kind of audit. Where did we go wrong? What did we do right? What lessons can we learn from this? That is nothing. That has nothing to do with politics or going after people. It's just that there was an event. We were supposed to spend so much on it.
Yeah.
How did we?
How did we do?
Yeah, how did we do?
We host it well.
We host it well because there are supposed to be benefits from this, and there are costs. So there's a benefit-cost relationship here.
Okay, and you also said a management audit, meaning
Yes, exactly.
how did the organizers do things?
Yes.
Was transportation on time? Were hotel accommodations all right? And apparently we had quite a few
Who was
problems.
supposed to take care of what, when, where, how? What happened there? In fact, I think it is ongoing now. That kind of audit, trying to figure out so that it doesn't happen. We haven't formally started yet.
Right.
November 30.
Oh, November 30 pa, Saturday.
So now is the time to correct that. There are a great number of sports which still have to begin. Sports competitions which still have to begin over there in Clark.
Right. Well, so there's that whole litany, the welcome tarps, the IDs, media accreditation, dugouts not finished, breakfast, kikiam, kulang yung pagkain, as some of the teams were complaining about, hotel accommodations brought to the wrong hotel. Ang dami. Is this something that regularly happens when other countries host the SEA Games or any other regional sporting event? Well,
in most countries, I've attended the Olympics, several SEA Games, several Asian Games. We Filipinos have a tendency of going overboard, promising so many things.
Over-promising?
Yes, that you will have a grand time and all of that. We will do this, we will do that. And one slight mistake sort of tarnishes that promise. Well, because, for example, in Europe, those delegates, us, officers of the Track and Field Association and other NSAs, are not even provided transportation. You're on your own. The only ones that are provided transportation are the members of the Olympic Committee, the local organizing committee. And here, I think we try to be as hospitable, as gracious.
In other words, we spread ourselves too thin.
Yes.
Like you said, we overpromise. And what we should have done was underpromise and overdeliver.
Yes. It always happens. There's always a problem about, in any competition, food. They always complain about food. And food is people are very hard to satisfy. Because kanya-kanya preference. And also, there are religious problems in the sense that you have halal food and all of that. So there are complications.
Yeah, but that is the work of the organizers.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And all of this should have been, well, I'm sure they were anticipated, but it was probably in the delivery
Okay.
I'm sure they planned, because they mentioned that in their planning.
Well, of course, before this, and very quickly now, sir, because I have to wrap this up. No, before this, there was that big controversy about that cauldron, no, and with everybody talking about it and saying kung ano-ano tungkol doon. One of the organizers or one of the government officials was saying, we should be patriotic. Is it unpatriotic if Filipinos criticize the organizers of the SEA Games?
No, I don't think so. You ask your opinion, you give your opinion, and you try to give your honest opinion. Maybe it's in the delivery, but we have to learn from these things.
Yeah.
And
But we
for
have,
example, that the cauldron is where the track oval is. You can use the cauldron over and over again for other competitions, even local, okay, even international. Depends on how many competitions you're able to attract to that venue. So it can be used several times.
All right. Philip Juico, PATAFA President. Sir, thank you very much for joining us this evening. Salamat
you.
po, sir.